Hunt Showdown 1896 is a new era of the addictively unforgiving extraction shooter. In a corrupted backwaters lost to history, fight back alone or with friends against a timeless evil. Twisted monsters and other ruthless hunters stand between you and your bounty. Risk everything as hunt consumes you. At least that's what the Steam review says. But how is it actually? Hunt Showdown is a simple yet difficult extraction shooter. The objective of the game is to find, kill, banish a boss target on the map and extracting the bounty it drops. This sounds easy, up until you realize there are about up to 9 other players trying to do the same before you, even if it means killing you. Yeah. This game is a balance of hardcore game mechanics with a mix of more arcade shooter mechanics, with a risk-reward dynamic. Each match is a gamble of what you bring into the match. You either get out alive or you die. We can't really start talking about that till we start talking about building a hunter, so how about we get on to that? When you first open up the game, you'll end up here. This is the main menu. It may look different from when you first start. Don't worry, that is normal. Now, we're not going to click that ready up button just yet. Instead, we are going to select hunters at the top of the screen. Here you have the option to either pay for a new hunter or hire a free hunter. The difference being buying a new hunter requires buying all the equipment you are going to use, while a free hunter allows you to get a hunter with pretty much the bare bones equipment. Once your hunter has been selected, you can modify its equipment by clicking on the icons on either side of the screen. Here you can buy what you want for your next hunt, whether that be guns, tools, consumables, or traits. You can pick what you want for your loadout, but if you're starting out or on a fresh prestige, I would suggest sticking with cheaper weapons like the Winfield, Vetterli, Marathon, Romero, or even the Springfield. These guns are pretty cheap starting off, they are available right away, and they have variants that you can use to fill in different niches for cheap, pretty much. They are budget friendly for their low prices. It's tempting to buy the expensive rifles, but remember you lose any gear that you fail to extract with once the training wheels are off. Tools are not as important to think about, but no less necessary. You always need to bring a melee tool for AI and a first aid kit to patch up minor wounds. Fuses and flare guns are nice to have for burning bodies or dealing with certain enemies. Chokes are a must when playing with teams as they put out burning bodies and fires, and any other tool is up to you if you want to bring it or not. Consumables are single-use items. You got your standard grenades like dynamite sticks, sticky bombs, frag bombs, flash bombs. You got your supportive items like ammo boxes, tool boxes. You also got your items that give you special status effects like antidote for anti-poison or stamina shots for infinite stamina, as well as regen shots for health regeneration. You also have stalker beetles, which are basically just drones that allow for some recon as well. Up to you what you want to bring, but some items are better than others for certain situations. Traits affect what you can do. Some give you enhancements to your guns, some can affect consumables and tools, and a few can help sway a situation out of a ditch of something went wrong. It's a good idea to bring traits like resilience and or necromancer to make those situations easier to deal with, and they will happen, especially if you're fighting with a team. Once you have got everything in your hunter, it's now time to select the game mode for you to choose from. Bounty Hunt, Standard Game Mode, Bounty Clash, a more close quarters PvP focused mode, and Soul Survivor, a solo only mode where your objective is to be the last one standing. A shooting range is there to try out loadouts or to mess around with friends. A tutorial which gives you the rundown of basics of Hunt. If this is your first time, please do it. Both the basic and the advanced tutorial, it is worth doing it just for the practice you get against the PvE of Hunt Showdown. Your average game of Hunt will usually contain you getting clues to find where boss is, killing anything that gets in your way, be it players, monsters, or the occasional game crash, arriving at a boss compound finally, taking bounty, looting anything you find and leave, or dying in the process. Dying is a part of the process. Sometimes you'll die because of other players, sometimes you'll die to accidentals, and sometimes you'll just have bad luck throughout the game. And there are the occasional losing streaks that you'll end up going through eventually that will probably discourage you from playing the game. It's gonna happen, but all you can really do is keep playing on or take a break if you need to. Don't stay on Hunt too long if it's giving you too much trouble. It's gonna happen more than once, to be fair. That said though, you do get the occasional good luck. You just gotta keep trying. Sometimes you'll dominate lobbies and sometimes they'll dominate you. That's the way it goes. Alright, time for the last question. Would I recommend Hunt Showdown? Yes, absolutely. The gameplay loop is constant and enjoyable. The challenge of fighting against players is reasonable, mostly, and the gunplay is amazing. Most of the guns feel fantastic and are great to use, and even just to listen to. Their sound design is really decent. However, the downsides of this game show pretty badly too. Spatial audio is currently a bit broken right now. There are small bugs here and there that are not really too bad. The game can feel boring and frustrating, especially when there's not enough action or when you are getting constantly dominated by getting shot in the face, and it can be a grind sometimes to unlock everything in the game. But I still think it's a great game for its uniqueness as an extraction shooter. The $30 price tag, I'd argue, is probably well justifiable for the amount of content you're gaining. There is a ton of DLC stuff, but it's not really too bad. It's mostly cosmetical, and I do like cosmetics, and you don't have to buy it if you want to enjoy it. There's plenty of free cosmetics, Twitch drops, and also some blood bonds that you can earn pretty much for free from the weeklies. Everything seems doable and unlockable with enough time and effort, pretty much. Even the Battle Pass skins are decently good sometimes. It's worth the money if you want to spend it just to buy the game, but the DLCs are also somewhat decent as well. I would rate Hunt Showdown a solid 4 out of 5. It's not the perfect game, and it's definitely a bit of an acquired taste if you are not interested in extraction shooters, but it's not terrible by any means. It's got effort into it, the game is somewhat stable, and it's easy to run on too on my computer at least. The aiming down sights mechanic is nice. I do prefer gunslinger aim over hunter aim, but it's at least interesting for what its atmosphere is. It's not terrible by any means. It looks awesome, and it's more of a darker turn than anything, but it's an old west shooter, so it looks pretty cool. The paradigm for PvP hasn't really changed much in its lifespan. It's mostly stayed the same pretty much for a long time. There were new items and stuff, but it's not like they rapidly changed the game too much. Even the tarot cards don't seem to have too much of an effect either. I kind of prefer Hunt Showdown's slower paced combat, sort of. A little too much, actually, because I actually kind of lost interest in faster FPS games like Call of Duty Warzone, though I also disliked it for many other reasons too. Hunt Showdown's paradigm has remained solid throughout all these years, and it's probably going to continue like this as long as the developers don't make any huge changes, and I'm all for it as long as they keep it that way. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the review. I will leave you with some gameplay. home.